everyone. The next topic which we'll be seeing is collector to base bias circuit. As you can see in this circuit, there is a resistance RB which acts as a feedback from your collector terminal to the base terminal. Therefore, this is known as collector to base bias circuit. Another important factor which can be seen over here is the current IC dash. IC dash is not equal to IC. It is a combination of IB and IC because I am applying KCL at node C. Therefore, it will give you IB plus IC. So, IC dash is IB plus IC. Once we have drawn the collector to base bias circuit, the next step to do the DC analysis is to draw the DC equivalent circuit. For the DC equivalent circuit, all capacitors, so capacitor C2 and capacitor C1 will act as open circuit. Therefore, the DC equivalent circuit looks something like this. So, this is the DC equivalent circuit for collector to base bias. Now, we have to start doing the DC analysis. In the DC analysis, the first thing which we want to find out is the Q point. The second parameter is comment on stability. So, we will be finding out the stability, and after that we will be commenting on the stability of this circuit. Comment on stability. Then the third is DC load line. So, you will be doing DC analysis to find out all these three parameters. So, let's start with the Q point, which is the operating point. To find out the Q point, we should first find out the value of IBC, the equation for IB. So, for the equation of IB, we apply KVL to the input loop. So, this purple line which you see is the input loop. So, we will be applying KVL to the input loop. So, start with VCC plus minus IC dash into RC coming over here minus RB into IB minus VBE is equal to 0. This is the equation after applying KVL at the input loop. As we all know that IC dash is equal to IC plus IB and IC is beta times IB. Therefore, this becomes 1 plus beta times IB. So, in this equation, you will be just substituting IC dash as 1 plus beta times IB. So, if you look at the equations, it will just give you IC dash, substitute it as 1 plus beta times IB. From this, just after arranging these equations, we get IB is equal to VCC minus VBE upon RB plus RC into 1 plus beta. Once you have the value of IB, we know that IC is beta times IB. So, you have got the equation of ICQ, which is one of your Q point. Next is to find VCQ. For VCQ, we apply KVL at the output loop. So just I'm drawing the output loop over here, plus VCC going to IC. Current flowing is IC dash, collector, emitter, base, grounded, emitter is grounded, plus minus VCE. So apply KVL to output loop, which is this loop. The equation is VCC minus IC dash IC minus VCE is equal to 0. And IC dash is nothing but 1 plus beta times IB, which is same as IE, and IE is approximately equal to IC for your transistor, for your CE configuration transistor. Therefore, instead of IC dash, we will be substituting it as IC. Therefore, your equation for VCEQ is equal to VCC minus ICQ into RC. Now you have got the Q points. The Q point is VCEQ, comma ICQ. These are your coordinates of the Q point. After getting the Q point, the next thing which we want to find out is the stability of the circuit. So we have the equation, generalized equation of stability, which is 1 plus beta upon 1 minus beta del IB by del IC. To get the equation of stability factor for collector to base bias circuit, you have to find out del IB by del IC. For that, we are making use of the input equation of the base. So this was the input equation. Let's understand again. There was a resistance RC, collector, emitter grounded, resistance RB, current flowing through this is IC dash, which is equal to IC plus IB. Current flowing through this is IB plus minus VBE. So applying KCL to this, we have got VCC minus IC dash into IC. IC dash is IC plus IB. So over here VCC minus IC dash, which is IB plus IC. So this is nothing but IC dash into IC minus IBRB minus VBE is equal to 0. So just apply KVL to this loop, input loop. The same step which we have done to find the operating point. After getting the equation of input loop, differentiate this equation with respect to IC. So differentiate this equation with respect to IC. Since VCC is a constant, its value will be 0, minus over here you will get del IB by del IC. This value differentiate with respect to IC will be 1. So 1 into IC minus the term is coming over here. Let's do it over here, differentiation part. So it is 0 minus del IB by del IC plus 1 into RC minus del IB by del IC into RB. For VBE, differentiation will be again 0, minus 0 is equal to 0. So rearranging, taking the negative sign common and rearranging del IB by del IC into RC plus RB minus RC is equal to 0. So you have got this equation. Just find out del IB by del IC. It will be equal to minus RC upon RB plus RC. Substitute this equation of del IB by del IC in the equation 1. We get the stability factor. We get the stability factor of collector to base bias circuit as 1 plus beta upon 1 plus beta RC upon RB plus RC. You're just substituting this equation in equation 1. So you get the stability factor. Next step, once we have got the stability factor, we have to comment on the stability of collector to base bias. So the comment is there is improved stability. So how there is improved stability? The first factor we'll be seeing is how the resistance RB, which is the feedback resistor, improves the stability of the transistor. This thing is also known as physical impact of resistance RB. What is the physical impact of resistance RB? So let's have the circuit. The circuit is over here. The voltage at this point, because this is the collector, therefore voltage is VC, collector voltage. This is the base, therefore voltage at this point is VB. And the current is flowing is IB. So IB in terms of voltages can be written as VC minus VB upon RB. This is the value of IB. And VC, if I want to find out what is the voltage at this point, it will be nothing but VCC minus IC into RC, IC dash into RC. So it is VCC minus IC dash into RC. Now we have to talk about stability, how these equations will help us to understand the stability. We know that as temperature increases, T is for temperature, as temperature increases, the minority leakage current, which is ICO, that increases. Because of ICO, IC increases. And because IC is increasing, IC dash, which is equal to IC plus IB, that also increases. So IC dash is increasing. IC dash into RC is a negative parameter over here. So if that is increasing, the value of VC will decrease. The negative term is increasing, value of VC will decrease. If value of VC is decreasing, value of VC over here is decreasing, that will cause a decrease in the current IB. So decrease in the current IB. And since IB is decreasing, therefore IC, which is equal to beta times IB, will also decrease. So whatever rise in the current IC was over here because of temperature, that is reduced over here because of the voltage drop VC, which is affecting the current IB. So in this way, the resistance RB, which is a feedback between VC and between collector and base, gives rise to the voltage drop VCB, which is causing the decrease in IB. So temperature stability is achieved over here. Same thing we have explained over here. So first was the physical impact of RB. Next is the stability from the stability factor. So if we see the stability factor for this circuit, doing the derivation, we found that change in IB due to change in IC was minus, the minus sign is important, minus RE upon RB plus RE, which is equal to a constant. This value is a constant because it is all are the resistances. So it is a constant. Let that be equal to K. Therefore, change in IB is minus K times change in IC. This negative sign indicates that they are inversely proportional. That means if del IB will increase, then del IC will decrease, or vice versa. So now what is happening over here? Because of the rise in temperature, minority leakage current is increasing. That is causing IC to increase. Since IC is equal to beta times IB. So there is a linear relationship over here. So if IC is increasing, IB will also increase. IB is increasing, that means change in IB is increasing. Change in IB is increasing because of the negative factor. Change in IC decreases. Change in IC decreases, that implies that IC has reduced. So IC is reducing. So rise in temperature is causing the IC to increase, and because of the biasing circuit arrangement, the IC is further dropped. So there is a small amount of temperature stability over here. So there is, as I said, a small amount of temperature stability over here. Now we'll be comparing it with the fixed bias circuit. For the fixed bias circuit, the stability was equal to 1 plus beta. But over here, the stability is 1 plus beta. For the collector to base bias, the stability is 1 plus beta upon 1 plus beta RC upon RC plus RB. So it is 1 plus beta divided by some factor, which is x. So definitely the stability factor will be less. And since the stability factor is less, the stability of the circuit is very, very high. So over here we see that as compared to the fixed bias circuit, the stability is high. So comparison is done with respect to fixed bias. What about emitter bias circuit? Emitter bias circuit, instead of RC, there was a resistance RE present. But the stability factor was same, 1 plus beta upon 1 plus beta. Instead of RC, there is RE. Over here also it is RE plus RB. So almost the stability factor is the same. So stability is same as compared to emitter bias, but it is far better as compared to fixed bias circuit. So as compared to emitter bias, the stability is almost the same. Now let's draw the DC load line. As we have discussed in the starting, Q point is an important parameter for DC analysis. Then stability. Stability comments have been done on three types. One was physical impact, second was from the stability factor, and third comparison with fixed bias and emitter bias. Lastly, the last thing which parameter which we have to do in the DC analysis is the DC load line. For DC load line, we apply KVL to the output loop. So again, this is the output loop, RC plus VCC IC dash plus minus VCE. Apply KVL to this, we get VCC minus IC dash RC minus VCE is equal to 0. IC dash is approximately equal to IC, which we have already seen in the output equation. So IC into RC minus VCE is equal to 0. From this, you can find out the equation of IC, which is VCC minus VCE upon RC. Now, once we get this equation, this is an equation of a straight line where IC is Y, VCC by RC is a constant, minus 1 by RC is M, and VCE is X. So it is Y equal to minus 1 by RC, which is the M, VCE plus C. So Y axis is IC and X axis should be VCE. So this is not CB, this is CE. So it is VCE. So we know that this is an equation of a straight line. Now how to find out how to draw this straight line? To draw this straight line, the basic thing is that we should have 2 points. If you join the 2 points, it will give you the straight line. To draw the DC load line, you can draw the DC load line of any circuit by considering 2 things. First is the cutoff condition. In cutoff, IC is equal to 0. Putting that in the equation of IC, in this equation, we get VCE is equal to VCC. So you have got that when IC is 0, the value of VCE becomes equal to VCC. So you have got 1 point. Second is consider the saturation condition. In saturation, practically the value of VCE is equal to 0.2 volts. But in ideal conditions, we assume that VCE is equal to 0. So when VCE is equal to 0, again putting in the same equation, when VCE is 0, IC is VCC by RC. So when VCE is 0, the value of IC is VCC by RC. So you have another point. There are 2 points. Join the 2 points. It will give you the DC load line. So this is the DC load line. So why was it important to plot the DC load line? We have found out that collector to base bias circuit has good stability. It has good stability. When I compare with fixed bias, the stability is good. For emitter bias, almost the same stability. But as compared to emitter bias, its saturation level is high. Its saturation level is high. In emitter bias, IC max was equal to VCC upon RC plus RE. So it was lesser. It was lesser as compared to fixed bias. Therefore, we went for the other circuit, which is collector to base bias. So in collector to base bias, it is observed that the stability is good as well as the saturation value. This is the saturation value. IC max value of the circuit is higher. So it will saturate a little late. So cutoff is at the same, but the saturation level, maximum current which can flow in the circuit is greater than emitter bias circuit. So definitely if I compare it with self bias, which is nothing but emitter bias, self bias is known as emitter bias, IC max is greater over here. So therefore it gives the same stability as compared to emitter bias. Also, there is rise in the maximum current level. So, this circuit, collector to base bias. So, in a very bold, we can say collector to base bias has good stability and saturation level. So, it is better than fixed bias and emitter bias. But since in all the three biasing circuits, that is fixed bias, emitter bias and collector to base bias, only temperature stability was taken into consideration. There was no consideration of what happens if the beta stability comes into picture. So for this, we have to see the voltage divider biasing circuit, which we will be discussing in the next video. Thank you.